I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. We're recording on a Friday night this week because on Tuesday, our normal record night, Dave sends me a text. And you know how last week we talked about how we was hoping he wouldn't be injured again for this week's episode?
Yeah, I can complete the, I continue my streak.
He went just full blown sick.
Yeah, I didn't hold anything back. Let's go complete illness.
Yes, had to go to the doctor, had to get meds. He
Medication.
was full blown like on Tuesday. He's still at 3:00. He's still like,
I'm ready.
I think I can still make it.
I can make it. I can do it. I'll wear a mask.
Do it.
We'll rattle our way. We'll rattle our way through this. No problem.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't.
God, I would have infected your entire house because I was bad. They didn't know if I had strep or like a summer flu kind of scenario. I tested negative for COVID. I tested negative for strep.
Right. He sent me the picture of the COVID test.
Negative for everything. And I was just like, well, wait,
what do I have?
Yeah, so they gave me a straight antibiotic for strep because every symptom I had was strep.
Pointed to it.
And
it just didn't come back positive for that.
Like a million times.
Don't they do like a 48-hour culture also where they retest it? Like the quick test can come back negative, but then don't they send it off still for like a 48-hour test or something like that?
They didn't wait for that. Yeah, I'm sure they did. They just said, get this guy out of my office. He's making everybody sick.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that. That was fun. And so other than that, part of my symptoms could have been associated with Lyme disease because in the middle of the night on Monday, I guess it was Monday-ish. Of course, after the weekend, we had been out in the yard doing everything. I don't know if this is when it happened, but I had a tick on me. And he had been feasting on me because he was kind of big and had gotten big. Now, how did I miss him?
Yeah,
well, here's the deal. I was lying in bed and it was hot, so I had the sheet off. And I just reached over and brushed my own butt. Like just
it was on your butt.
It was on my ass.
You had a tick on your butt.
I had an ass tick. We kept calling it an ass tick. And Lisa says, "You're saying Aztec?" And I go, "No, it's an ass tick." And I immediately text her and I go, "What the? Oh my God, you need to come in here and take a look at this. This is disgusting." And she came flying in and saw I had ripped it off and put it on the table. And I said, "Is that what I think it is?" And she goes, "Oh my God, that's a tick." And I go, "Ugh." So yeah, she was then checking my own butt.
Oh, wow.
Bless her heart. She definitely gets kudos for that one.
The butt check.
Checked my own ass for ticks. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she's earned her pay.
So is there a waiting period time before you can be tested for Lyme disease from that?
So you immediately show symptoms or even have the mark on your ass, which is a bullseye or at least just an inflammation.
Yeah.
And of course, a doctor got to see my own ass too, because then I mentioned it and they went and took a look at it. So I had dropped trowel and got to see that. And she goes, "Oh, there's not even a mark here anymore." And I go, "Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate that." So, so we ruled that one out.
Okay.
Because I hadn't been showing any kind of infection or anything because a red mark will show. Something. So so that was fun too. So I had that going.
So you're feeling better. It's just you still sound kind of deep voiced right now.
Yeah, a little bit, and I have gotten steadily better. But of course, I made Sydney sick. So made
his daughter sick.
Yeah, so
and they're supposed to go see a show tomorrow. Oh yeah.
It's a surprise. We're not supposed to mention anything about that. But yes, they will have already been. But I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because they'll already,
I don't want to have any, in case
so happy surprise, Chase.
Yes, this is a surprise. You're getting a good surprise.
We already know before you've seen it, but then you'll see it when you hear this, and then that all
and
makes sense.
We'll have a super review of something surprise on the Tuesday, because they'll have already gone to it and get to tell me about
cool. It. So we'll have more on Tuesday on the follow-up to the show from Friday, which is not Empire Strips Back, which is still later in the month.
That's later. Still later in the month. This is a different one. This one's at Wolf Trap.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, not downtown. And and I had a surprise. And I want to throw it in here because I put it in I didn't bring it up in the outline because I wanted to bring it up. We have a new addition at the house.
Did you get the dog?
We got the dog.
Oh my gosh,
It's
you got the dog.
huge.
Oh
we got
my
a Great
gosh.
Dane.
You
His
sent me
name
the pic. Is it the one you sent me the picture of?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
He's awesome. And he's huge.
Oh
His
my
head
gosh.
is huge. And he's a dumbass. He is so stupid. and he's
Big, dumb, and stupid.
Uncoordinated. Too.
Isn't that how Lisa
He's
likes her men?
stupid and uncoordinated.
Yeah,
Yes.
big, dumb, stupid, and
as injured as I get, I can't imagine that I can't live up to that. But yes. And he's just fumbling around and bumping into things and bumps into everything. Like if he turns, he's bumping into something in our house. So we've nailed down pretty much everything. And
can't wait till Christmas.
Yeah, well, see, that's another thing.
Will he knock the tree
she's
over?
Gonna have to she's got to move everything up. We've bolted down the trees now, so they aren't really going anywhere. So it's just the ornaments that need to be moved up a little bit.
Yeah,
but he's had some bumps, some speed bumps. We've hit some speed bumps with Nala and Phil, just kind of feeling their own self out.
Yeah, because they get to know each other.
Yeah, so they kind of had mixed emotions about this. But
well, when we got Butters, Reese was just like, "No, there's
really?
no new dog in my house." No, and now Butters and Reese, they just go together.
Was there a lot of fighting and snapping?
There at the first there was like a growling. Reese's very territorial, and I mean, she's just like you know how she is. So gets up right on your chest and just like, hey, you're mine.
Right.
She's an alpha. She's like,
so when Butters got in between you and her,
and still, if Butters jumps up in my lap now, she'll come over and be like, get off his lap.
Yeah, but not eat his
growling.
Face or anything. Right?
They'll start biting and tussling, and it's like, okay, settle down.
Ours had a bit of an issue, and we had to pull Nala off of, and it was just a snapping thing, and she got reprimanded real quick, and it split, and that was it.
Okay,
there was an issue where Nala went at Phil because they were all eating, and our laundry room isn't that big, and he kind of backed her into a corner, and she lashed out at him. And then that became a
felt
thing.
Threatened. Yeah.
And then when I was making dinner tonight, Phil got crazy because Lyndon got close. The dog's name is Lyndon. We went with another presidential name.
Oh, okay,
so we have Fillmore,
right.
And Lyndon. And Nala was already pre-named, and we couldn't really come up with anything close because originally his name is Landon.
Nala gonna change it.
Yeah, so we changed it to
stretch,
Lyndon.
sorry.
That
was a stretch.
Didn't quite get that one.
It was my Dana Carvey doing George Bush.
Okay.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, my impersonation of Dana Carvey doing his impersonation of George. Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
Oh, thanks. Great. Well, of course I did, because it's my impersonation.
It's your impersonation of someone doing
an impersonation of someone else.
It was perfect. You nailed it.
I did.
But yeah, so we're kind of in that training montage moment. And
how old is Lyndon?
Lyndon is 4.
So, and not trained?
So trained, yes, but now it's more of he needs to be trained on our house. Does that make sense? It's more of
definitely.
What he can and can't
has
get
to
into.
Acclimate to your.
The kitchen is off limits. All dogs need to stay out of. I don't want to drop anything on the dog, and when they're underfoot. I can see like your dogs, would kind of you'd be able if you were scooting along would be able to move your dog. Mine. Are like speed bumps.
Oh yeah, you literally if they're right behind you, you'll fall over backwards. It's like the old prank where like the person gets down on all fours behind you, and you make them backwards.
It's that.
But that's how your dogs are that tall.
If I turn quick and they're right there at ankle or at knee height,
the stuff goes flying off the plates, and and
I'm stopping on a dime. So or a knife I'm carrying or anything like that. So I do my best. Now Phil is the worst, but he knows where the line is, and he'll put like half his ass into it, or he'll lie sideways into the zone, and I'll have to keep correcting it and move him out. Yeah, because he's waiting, right? He's ready for anything to fall on the ground.
He's
and
letting
wants to be the first one in.
Exactly.
Yes, I get dibs. He's called dibs, right? And Nala knows just to stay outside the zone, so she's fine. But this one is head height to our counters now, so he's right there.
And you have high counters.
I know.
What the hell?
I have a picture of him next to Lisa. Lisa looks like a midget next to not a small person.
They're called
a little person. And I am telling you right now that he is still doing some growing, I think.
Okay.
Well, so the situation that he had, he's a rescue, and he was rescued originally, and before Phil, I think this was what we had timelined.
You told me about this a couple weeks ago.
He was going to be our original puppy.
Right, and then you didn't get him because someone else got him.
Right. There was already promised to someone, and we kind of dropped the ball, I guess. So technically, but then that brought Phil, and we had Phil, and Phil's doing great. He, of course, has his issues too, but we are trying to believe that we are now Lyndon's new home, because he had a very rough rescue.
Wasn't a good. Gotcha.
Well, what happened was that they did not prepare themselves for a big dog, like a Great Dane. I'm like, well, wait, you knew what a Great Dane was. You were getting a
dog that's going to be a huge dog.
So for the last whatever months or whatever he was there, probably more than that, they had kept him outside the whole time.
Aww.
All the time.
Aww.
And he had gotten so bad that his entire fur was bleached, like dry.
Okay.
Why
do I hear like a Sarah McLachlan song running in the back of my head? In the arms of the angel.
saving this dog. But completely malnourished. Like
just a few dollars a month can save.
There we go.
A dog's
save a dog.
Sorry, okay.
Just a picture a giant Great Dane. But the Maddie was rescuing it. One of the barn women rescued him and put 25 pounds on him. And he still needs another 10 to 15.
Wow.
And
peanut
he's
butter.
Very bony.
Peanut butter.
So, yeah, just feed him straight peanut
butter.
butter.
Go to Costco. Get
He's going to be fine. We're doing fine at beefing him up. And he's not doing as much running now that he was doing. So, he's he's going to be a little more sheltered. So, yeah, he'll be good. But I do want to get him out. So, I'm probably going to
So, will he hit like 200 pounds?
I would say he is at 110 now, and he probably needs another 10 or 15. So he'll be 130.
So like 131.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's big. Now, Nala's now the small one, which is funny.
Yeah.
And, but of course she runs the roost, and that's fine, but Lisa needs to be in control. And that's kind of where this is all coming to a head with,
when we got Reese, my wife was like, she goes, okay, I'm the one training her. I'm the alpha. I'm the one. And she took the reins and trained Reese and Butters. And I mean, Butters has been so easy. He's been just like, can you tell listeners we love our dogs? I was never a dog person. I was never a dog person until we got Reese and Butters. And I love these two dogs to death. And so
I originally I had a dog growing up. One.
Yeah, but same. I never had a
that
dog
was
either.
it. After that one, that was it. They gave up after that.
Yeah.
But we didn't really have a dog until I was 20-ish. And that was our Dalmatian.
Gotcha.
Madison, which was a president's
I remember.
Name.
I remember.
Madison.
Yes, I remember Madison.
And Mickey was the
Mickey and Maddie.
the lab. Yeah.
So cool.
So that was that.
Okay, so this week I went to work on Sunday like I normally do, and I come out of the rink Sunday night, and we have like a little employee area where the employees park. It's away from the main parking lot area where the customers park and stuff. It's just so that they have the parking closer to the building than we do, and but we park around the side back kind of the building.
Right.
And I always back into my spot, and I'm not like one of those like, oh, every time I park my car I got to back into my spot, like because there's some people like that.
Time.
It's just when I'm at work I just back into the spot, and and I just do it at work.
Right.
So I walk out at 1 a.m. from work. And I notice that the passenger side headlight on my car, something looks off. And I'm just like, okay, I hit a deer whenever it was, and I had to replace the headlight and the turn signal because they're two separate pieces on the driver's side.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the passenger side going, something looks off. And I walk over to the van, and the clear plastic piece that covers the side turn signal light, it's gone.
Oh no.
Like the housing is still there, but the clear plastic piece that goes over it has fallen off at some point. Like, and I swear it was there last, when I drove the car last.
Right.
Which was a couple days before that. And so I'm like, that's so weird, because like I can literally like put my hand and like touch the light bulb. Wow. That's the turn signal. And but I actually checked it, and hit the signals to make sure they work. So they still work. It's just it's missing that clear plastic covering.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how was I like driving down the road and like not hear something fall off my van or fall off
if it fell off, maybe like, you know how the people steal the catalytic converters now? Maybe they're also stealing just pieces of car.
Pieces of 24-year-old minivans that don't exist
of
anymore.
Your car every day and eventually rebuilding it in their own garage. So eventually you're just not going to have a van.
Yeah. Yes. That's what my son wants. My son's dying to get the van. He's like, he gets his learner's
to put it all
next
back
year
together
and
again.
Well, no, it's together. Oh my God.
Well, it's missing a light now.
Well, I've ordered it. I ordered the piece.
You'll get that one.
Thank you for Amazon. It'll be here, and it's the turn signal. It's not the whole headlight. So I've replaced it before because I've hit deer and stuff.
Right.
So it just pops right out. Pop it in, screw down the bolt, and it's in.
This will be a good start to him rebuilding the car.
Exactly, and he's going to help me with that because we already replaced the rear windshield wiper because the motor burnt out on it. Because again, 24-year-old van. So you have to take the plastic molding off the back and pull it apart. And we watched a video on how to do it, and so he did that with me, a couple months ago, and then. Before inspection in August, we're going to redo the front brake pads, and I'm going to show him how to do that and teach him how to do that stuff. So yeah, he's all into the car stuff now. And
sweet.
That's his
I'm
thing.
telling you, man. I as far as like having like an apprenticeship kind of scenario, those types of things are just, money. Would you get hands-on kinds of things like that? That's, it's never going to stop.
Yeah. So, we're going to have to, so sometime in the next year, we will be buying a new used car. I don't buy new cars new. I get something used with some miles on it, whatever.
$20,000.
Yeah. Because it's just ridiculous. And the other day, my wife and I were talking, and as we talked about a couple episodes ago, she was in England and saw Taylor Swift. So she was just out of curiosity checking on tickets to Taylor Swift's show in Miami. That's going to be later this fall. I think it's like October, November, or whatever it is, near the end of the tour. Floor seats, $16,000.
Wow!
And my reaction to her was, let me think. Buying a new used car or going to see Taylor Swift for 3 hours. Let me think about that.
Is that a pair of tickets or one fucking ticket?
I mean, my God, I don't know. I think
I would
that
almost
was one
have
ticket.
to say that's one ticket. So
I think that was one ticket.
If you both want to go, that's two vans. I'm sorry, but that would be
I'm
a nicer used van.
I was floored.
Plus,
when
getting there, it's not like it's just close by.
You have to fly down. Well, I mean, they've got flights from DC to Miami. It's not a big deal, but but still, it's like 2-hour flight, and you have to pay in hotel.
More
and it's
money.
Miami, which is already expensive, and blah 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 blah. So anyway, so we'll be getting a new car, at some point, but
sweet.
But we won't be going to see Taylor Swift again,
right?
So because she already saw Taylor Swift once.
Saw it,
her and I were talking about it this evening, and she goes, it's like a top life moment for her going to that show. It was
now. Would it be different going to it again? Is what
I don't know, because
you have to weigh that, right?
There are people that have gone multiple times, and actually we watched a video of the comedian Nikki Glazer, and she's apparently seen Taylor like 17 times on this tour.
Wow!
And the show's over 3 hours every night, and she's like, she was interviewed on Jimmy Kimmel show the other night and was talking about that, and it was just like, oh my gosh, 17 times, and she's like, well, I don't have kids, and my boyfriend's like, hey, go, you work hard, you make money, go.
I mean that's
and because he even asked her, he goes, does Taylor Swift even know who you are? And she goes, oh God, no, we have no communication. She doesn't even know. I mean, she'll know now that I'm a big fan,
right? And it'll be shown. Someone will tell her.
But
hey, to pay thousands of dollars to see the same thing over and over again, it's like seeing the same movie again.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess, but I mean, I used to do that when I was younger. I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've watched Star Wars and Aliens. And,
and that's a movie, and that was how much? It wasn't thousands of dollars, right?
No, because you had I had the crappy VHS tape and pop it in the machine.
And now you have a good story to say. I saw Taylor Swift 17 times, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't see.
She's a total Swiftie. She's a total Swiftie, and
it's
she's got enough money. It's her thing.
It's hers.
So good for her.
It's like touring
if that's her,
and seeing.
People used to follow the Grateful Dead, or any or Dave Matthews, or any of the bands. It's like
But I get that.
So I saw so many license plates this week.
Oh, really?
I literally, my drives to work now, I feel like a 5-year-old in the backseat going, let's play the license plate game. Let's play the license. I see a license plate. So because I'm like, I'm literally just looking, and that was my impersonation of me doing my impersonation of me when I was 5.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good that you have that.
Did I nail that one?
Put that in the Rolodex. We're going to need that one again.
Oh, we'll need that one again.
Sure, we'll need that one again.
So I saw so many license plates. I've got enough license plates for like 3 shows.
Oh,
so
geez.
I'm just going to hit a couple of them. I'm not going down this entire list.
We should do a quick one.
So the first one, on a serious note that I saw, was FYTIT. Fight it.
Okay.
And it had the pink cancer ribbon license plate.
You go.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah, damn
fight
right.
it. Yeah.
Fuck
I was like,
cancer.
Good plate. Okay.
Cancer sucks.
Totally. Then the next one I saw was on a truck, and it was, I mean, I've seen stuff like this before, so this one's not, really funny, shocking. It's just I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, but it makes sense. And it's the 4X4 TOY, a 4x4 toy. And it's a truck. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yep.
I was behind this Infinity SUV.
Okay.
And this plate I actually did find humorous. It's NTMY911. Not my 911. So it's not his Porsche. It's his Infinity.
Oh, nice.
So instead of like saying my other car's my other car's a Porsche, but it was not my 911.
Nice.
It's like, I'm driving it, but it's not my 911.
Not what I want to be
not
driving.
my 911.
There you go.
Then I saw another happy, joyous one. It was LIV4LFE, Live for Life.
Okay.
Yep, so that was,
there you go. Okay, yeah, full of life.
And then I just saw this one and I was just like, why did you even put that on your little van? It's just B Mart.
B Mart.
Letter B dash Mart. B Mart.
B Mart.
B Mart.
B Mart.
I saw this one. This was on an orange Jeep. And I'll get to Jeeps in a minute on a whole other thing.
Okay.
So the Jeep was orange.
Yes.
But the license plate was PNKNLVY.
Pink and lovely?
Pink and lovely. Well, then why are you driving an orange Jeep? Why aren't you driving a pink Jeep?
Huh.
But your license plate is pink and lovely.
Okay, so maybe they got that, right? And their previous car was, but then they got a new Jeep and it was orange. But they didn't want to lose the license plate because maybe down the road they got another pink car.
Yeah, I guess.
Who knows?
So, and then this one, I'll end on this one. It's MTROD. And I'm like, Mountain Rod? Mount Rod. And then I'm like, wait, hold on. MT Road?
Empty
Is it
road,
empty
like it's
road?
like it's no one's on the road.
But it's MTROD. So I was like, empty rod? Like
empty
he's
rod.
had a vasectomy? He doesn't have anything in his, he can't.
That might be it.
He's got an empty rod?
An empty rod. He just not shooting.
Or he likes empty road and forgot to put the E on
road.
I don't know. So
weird.
So have you seen the Jeeps, going to the Jeep thing, which I was going to talk about?
Got it.
You were a Jeep driver at one point.
I had a Jeep, a Wrangler.
I've never been a fan of the Jeeps.
Okay.
You know that because like I'm a inside winter person. I don't need the top.
You don't need to be
in
the
doors
outdoor
off and the sun shining on me and feeling like a piece of bacon. Like my skin is just melting.
It was
not
that
like
bad.
That feeling.
Believe me, it was that bad having it.
We took a road trip, I think, down to Nags Head one time in the Jeep, and I was just like
cooking.
Well, and it's so freaking loud
when it's up.
You can't have a conversation with someone for 5 hours on a trip to Nags Head. You just sit and stare ahead, and you're just getting beat up with wind and heat.
Yes.
So have you seen on the Jeeps now, and I think they've been doing it a couple years now maybe, there's now this like plastic addition part that they can snap on the front on the grill, so the headlights look like they're mean eyes.
Yes.
And then it looks like the grill's the teeth.
Yes.
And it's just like, I've started seeing that a lot lately.
Really?
And I'm just like, here's my mean Jeep. Mean teeth. Mean Jeep. But here's a squeaky duck. It's just like, because everybody's got freaking ducks across their dashboard in the Jeeps.
Yes, right.
But here's my mean Jeep with my squeaky duck.
Well, he's got a hard and a soft side.
That's what she said.
Well, okay. So when I had mine, it was awful because it kept getting broken into. And
and I
they
think
stole my radio like
lot.
3 times.
Yeah.
And now I said that's it. I can't.
I saw a meme a couple weeks ago, and it was remembering the 90s, and it was like having to pop the dash, the cover off your stereo.
Exactly.
Or pulling the whole thing out,
the
like
face cover.
like
or it just comes out in a little
slides
handle.
the whole thing out, and he carries his stereo into the party.
Exactly.
Yeah, like just I thought that was fun. I was like, oh yeah, remember the 90s?
I did that. I left mine on, and that's what they tore it right out.
And it's just like, why?
Cut the damn plastic.
Why? Is there really such a
out.
huge aftermarket for used car stereos?
I wouldn't.
Did I miss out on something when I was younger?
$12 maybe? I don't know. What are you getting at a one of these pawn shops for that?
Well, and that's
Jesus.
I just now thought of that. I haven't been in a pawn shop in years, but I can't recall walking into a pawn shop and just seeing a stack of like used car stereos.
Yeah, well, yeah,
like,
exactly.
They have like guitars and things like that, and people sell their
and it wouldn't have any of the wiring with it,
yeah.
right? So you have to buy the wiring.
Right. but I've never walked into a pawn shop and gone, car stereo. Oh, that's my car stereo. That's
$5.
Ooh,
wow.
I'll take that. You gave somebody $250 for that? Oh wow, I'll pay $5 for it. Sure. What? They stole that out of my car? I'll give you $5 to get it back.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pain in the ass. What I'm seeing now, though, is that the doors are removable. Mine were removable, but they're hanging their legs out the door.
Illegal to remove the doors.
No, actually,
I thought they welded them on the joints because.
Well, so there's a bolt on now, and you can remove. You can just take the bolt,
or ratchet,
and it just comes right off. Now, originally, the Jeeps had full canvas doors, and they just kind of fell into the thing, and you can pull the whole damn door off.
Yeah, you just unzipped it or something, right? And it just like...
Well, so they did unzip the window parts, right? That mine had that too, but mine had a full door on it. On the bottom part,
like a metal door,
right? Yeah, exactly. It was a full door, and it was hinged. You couldn't take that thing off, right? Okay. But for some reason now they do come off. And I saw some guy driving down the road with his leg hanging out,
just sticking out off.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's a good way to lose a leg. I mean, you just need to swipe.
Did they learn anything? You never stick your arm out of the forkllift while you're driving it. Did they never learn anything?
You showed me that. That was the best freaking safety video. I found this.
Yeah, it was a video from. Was it from the 80s? I think
it said the 90s.
Oh, it was 90s.
It was 90s,
and it was a safety video for like a warehouse, like a safety video to drive a forklift and things to avoid, and like you
corners,
you back down a ramp. You don't go straight because the stuff falls
don't carry
off
heavy load.
Yeah, and like blind corners. Don't run into your coworkers because
don't carry them. Don't drive with them on the forklift because when you stop, they'll come flying.
They'll come flying off and hit their head.
And the last one was some guy just driving with his arm out the window, and they popped his arm backwards.
Right,
and
it big rubber arm. It was so funny. It was just like you're like, ow! Oh my god!
The one that drove it off the ramp and it exploded.
He drove it off the dock.
It literally exploded,
the loading dock,
like a '90s movie.
Yeah, like on the A-Team,
an action
or something.
Right.
A-Team or Knight Rider. Yeah, when a car would blow up. Perfect. It was exactly like that. The guy was running off.
That was so good.
Yeah, so that's funny when it's the '90s.
Oh yeah,
training video for forklift drivers,
forklift driving
in warehouses. That was a good one.
Perfect. It was so perfect.
Oh my gosh. Did we talk about dinner last week?
No. So I had mine.
Oh no, we talked about the other dinner.
Yeah,
you went to a different dinner. Right. We talked about wine dinner.
Okay, catch up because we had one of the barn women went to France, so we were going to hear all the stories. Again? That was not Jackie. That was Wendy.
Jackie.
Wendy went to France, and she was letting us know about her trips to France, and I believe she went to also Italy too. So it was a 2-week trip, and so she had a great time, and she had a lot of stories and a lot of places that she went to. So she had a great time.
But how was the restaurant?
Okay, so
where did you go?
Okay, I don't know if you know about this place. It's
sorry, Wendy, didn't mean to cut you off.
It's on the same exit as the hospital, Loudon Hospital. It's called Cooper's Hawk Winery.
Oh, yes,
you've heard about that.
Yes, believe me. If you live in Northern Virginia, you've heard of Cooper's Hawk Winery. Yes,
serious?
They have several locations. There's there's Reston. They have like 3 or 4 locations now, and it's very very hoity-toity out of my class range.
Oh,
so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Fuck you.
Not to be throwing money around. Well, it was picked by Wendy because she's in the area. So no problem. We went, and I don't know if I would say that it was the best place. It was hot. For some reason, it was the hottest place I'd ever been in, and I was just melting. And I don't know if that was because I was outside.
Like a glorified cheesecake factory or something, or not even cheesecake factory, but just like
if they mass produced winery restaurants, then this would be it.
Which there's now 3 locations, so maybe they are doing that.
It might be because that might be it because it didn't seem very innovative as far as what we were eating. I mean, there was like
chicken
generic
fingers and
stuff,
fries.
but I had over the border egg rolls, which was basically just a Tex-Mex egg roll.
Yeah,
so that special. Was the appetizer, right? And then meatballs and flatbread. I mean, okay, great. I'm not saying that the food wasn't good. It was really good. I mean, it was
But
really
was
good.
it more like bar food, just fancier?
Yeah, I would say.
Is that what
yeah.
it like? Okay.
Yeah, because then for the entrees, Lisa had a short rib risotto, which was basically just the rib
Short rib
broken up
risotto.
into a risotto. So, okay,
So
great.
it's what it sounds like.
Yeah, but it was just the bowl. That was it.
Okay.
It was just the bowl of that, and it was like, okay, well, there wasn't anything.
You know who I
with
think would really enjoy that?
a risotto.
Abe Froman,
Abe
Sausage
Froman,
King of Chicago.
Sausage King.
Sausage King of
I hear he
Chicago.
likes his Italian, but I
He
thought it
does.
was French.
Is that French?
I think
Oh, well, I mean, no, because he is the Sausage King of
he
Chicago.
is the Sausage King.
So,
so
that's
he
why
would
he
be
goes to a
more-
French restaurant.
I
Because
would
he's
say.
had plenty of.
He needs-
Okay, sorry. So going back. So
But then
the
I
risotto.
had something which I thought was kind of cool. It was 3 flavored filet medallions. So basically, they dressed the fillets, each one of them with a different flavor. One of them was horseradish. One was Parmesan. One was sweet Jesus. I don't know what the last one was.
One was Sweet Jesus barbecue
It was
sauce.
Sweet Jesus,
Really? Have you had
yes.
Sweet Jesus barbecue sauce?
I have not.
Okay.
Taste test.
There you go. Maybe later.
With mashed potatoes and broccoli. But I was like, okay, well, that's nothing crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell the difference between the different flavors. Like the horseradish wasn't so
it wasn't so
horseradishy.
distinct that you were just
right.
like, oh, this
I was
is
like,
the.
oh, I was really tasting the meat, which is fine because I really
So
want to
it
taste
was-
the meat, but there was flavored.
Right. So it was just like the Mountain Dew Blue with 50
Yes,
flavors
the 50
in it.
flavors.
With fish sticks?
I couldn't pull all 50
Did your
flavors.
steak taste like fish sticks?
It might as well have
And
had
watermelon.
because yes,
Okay.
and bugs.
And bugs.
Natural bugs.
Natural bugs.
But you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. And yeah, with the money we spent, I would have been like, okay, wait a minute. I could have gotten that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to a place like that and spend that kind of money. Now the drinks were kind of
it's not Morton's, but
But again, the drinks are kind of insanely crazy.
yeah,
so there
which
is
is
a bit
just
of that.
like, yeah, silly.
So yeah, that's
So
what
you
we
don't
kinda
give it
had.
a recommendation for.
I would say that it's
for Ethan Hawke's
okay. Will
Brewery
I go
or
back
whatever?
again? I'm not exactly sure.
Wait,
that I
what is
would.
it again? Hawk's Groove?
Cooper's Hawk.
Cooper's Hawk, not Ethan Hawke.
No,
Not
Ethan
Ethan
Hawke's a
Hawke's
whole
winery.
different winery.
That is a whole different.
This
Does
one's
he have his own winery?
Cooper's Hawk. Maybe. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, right.
Cooper's Hawk Winery. And, I'm not bad mouthing the restaurant. The restaurant was fine. It was blazing hot inside. It was super crowded. Of course, we went on a
But it's also been
Friday.
almost 100 degrees here for the past week.
Yeah, so they could not have kept that restaurant cool enough.
It was
And with
just-
the amount of people that were in there, they were all sucking up all the oxygen. It just got hot quick.
Ugh.
And for some strange ass reason, our table was under what appeared to be a spotlight. So we just cooked the whole time. It was like
jeez.
we were in like one of those fast food restaurant
Yeah.
commercials where the red lights
You're on the
you.
warming
It was
bin.
warm. And then near the end, the light just went out. And I was like, well, thank goodness. And it
about
cooled
fucking
down. It was
time.
like 20 degrees cooler once that light
Yeah.
was out.
Turn the
And
stupid
but
light
I'm
off.
thinking they were trying to get us out of the damn restaurant because they were flashing the lights. But
Oh,
that was
yeah.
kind of
Everybody leave.
Yeah,
Thanks for
come on
coming.
out. It's
Here, do you
night.
want to see
Time
the
to
kitchen
go.
real quick? We can show you the kitchen.
Let's get out.
Yeah.
We have a third cycle we need to.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second. So are we ready to go to movies and TV?
Are we? I think, yeah. I
Okay,
think,
so, okay.
yeah.
Movies and TV, there's a lot of stuff. Did you see the box office numbers this weekend?
I did not. I missed those.
You did not see the box office
I've been
numbers.
sick.
I actually
I have
have
not
them.
done a lot of homework. I have been sick.
I have them. Despicable Me 4 came out
Yes.
and crushed it.
Really?
Crushed it. 122 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Opening
my goodness.
Total. Well, it was
Well,
a
these
holiday
family
weekend. It was
movies-
also 4th of July holiday
yeah,
weekend.
I get that. But,
so I
it
think
had
that
extra.
I think
3
it opened
days?
on. Did it open on Wednesday or Thursday?
I would say it had opened on Thursday.
I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah. So for its opening full weekend, 122 million.
Wow.
Inside Out 2 came in second.
Oh my god! It did again.
with
still
another
up there.
30 million.
Holy bejesus!
Right. It's
And
still
with
like
Minions
strong.
out. So
yeah,
that's a
with
lot of
Minions.
family
Yeah, it was a
stuff.
lot of animated stuff. Then Quiet Place Day 1
Yeah.
is second. Then Maxine, which is the third in a trilogy
Yes.
of I don't really know much about that, but I've seen the girl whatever. Anyway,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Anyway, so that came in fourth with 6 million. Bad Boys number 5
Oh.
and number 6
Uh oh.
Horizon.
Oh no! It's still falling.
With another whopping, hold on, what was it? It was 5.3 million this week.
Oh, so it was at 11.
It's pulled
last
in
time, right?
about 16 or 17 million total. And then I saw an article just yesterday that they have canceled part 2 from theater release.
Oh, already?
Yes.
Oh, so it's going to be on Paramount Plus.
So, well, it's going to be on Max because
it's a Max one. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I think it's a Warner. Oh no, wait, am I thinking of the wrong?
Are you?
I might be thinking of the wrong franchise. Maybe it is Paramount Plus.
I don't know. I
Anyway,
would think it might
so-
be that scenario.
But no, yeah, it was Warner Brothers because they canceled the the release in August of part 2 and did not reschedule or even make it sound like it was going to get rescheduled.
Wasn't it September that they were thinking?
No, that's when we were talking about the fight between Mike Tyson and that Jake Paul guy.
No, I think the part 2 was release was
no, it was
September.
August 16th was the release date.
Okay, yeah,
for part 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then they've canceled the release, and they said they want it to build an audience in streaming, and starting next Tuesday it'll be out to rent or buy on
Well, they
video on
should have
demand.
thought that this would have been a better streaming series than 2 big ass movies.
Yeah, and they've said that they can actually cut it into like a 10-part
that's gonna
series
hurt, though.
And like 30-40 minute episodes into a 10-part. And what I didn't know is that Kevin Costner has been trying to make this movie for almost 30 years.
Serious.
It has been on his desk and wanting to do this movie. He actually started the funding of it with his own money to start.
Yeah.
To get it going, and then got investors and other producers to come on, and then they got the studio. But this has been like a passion project of his for almost 30 years, and then for it to just be like total like shit on. I kind of feel bad now. Kind of want to see it because I feel a little bad for Kevin Costner.
We
just
can
a little,
watch
not
it.
terribly, not
we
terribly
should
bad
watch
for
it
Kevin
just
Costner.
to give it
Just
a real
little.
review of 2 guys who just poo-poo stuff.
Well,
like
the first movie is 3 hours, so I'm gonna have to break that over 3 nights. We're not watching that together because
holy crap,
I'll watch that over 3 nights.
my Jesus.
Killers of the Flower Moon, like that took me 3 nights because it was almost 3 hours, and
Woof.
and there was so. Well, when it comes to a streaming platform that I'm paying for, I'll watch it.
Okay,
and we'll do that review later,
Perfect.
maybe, and then see what.
Yes, definitely.
See what goes from there.
Yeah, we'll get it.
So I thought that was interesting that they
Because
canceled.
I'm going to give it a fair shake. Why not?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Did you see and I don't know if this is real or fake, not sure, but supposedly there is a Ghostbusters, blah, blah. If I could speak, that's okay. I can cut that out. It's fine. Take 2. Beep. There is a Ghostbusters, the ectoplasmic cut on Blu-ray. And this cut combines apparently both Ghostbuster movies 1 and 2. It cuts them together seamlessly into one movie.
How in the hell?
I don't know. I'm actually interested. That's why I'm saying.
Okay, are you? Oh well, okay.
And it adds in over 20 minutes of deleted scenes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that were originally cut. Yeah, an extra 20 minutes. So and they pieced it all together. So you're like,
there are reasons why sometimes those things are cut. I've seen some cut scenes that are like, okay, what? That means nothing to me.
When and I learned this many years ago on the outtakes on the DVD.
Okay,
if it's bloopers, it'll be funny. If it's outtakes, it's just
stupid
stuff they cut out because there's a reason they cut it out.
Right.
And like, so when DVDs would come out, like, with over 2 hours of extra
cut
footage,
scenes. Yeah.
and unless it said specifically blooper reel or something like that, I would be like, no, because I want to see the funny stuff where they're cracking up or they say something to go off script, and those are great. But like, when it's a cut scene, there's a reason that scene was cut because it didn't work.
Exactly.
Why am I going to sit through 2 hours of this?
That means
it doesn't make it better.
You're right. It doesn't add to the storyline.
It doesn't make it better. So there are 2 covers. It's for the cover 1 and the cover 2. I'm going to show you the picture real here so you can see it of the Ghostbusters DVD. And it's,
I like it.
It's the reversible sleeve also, so you can either go with the one, that one, or the A or B, which cover you like most. I
like them.
So I'm really hoping this is a real thing because.
I don't know how.
It's a Blu-ray though, and it's
1 and 2.
like,
I'm trying to picture what the overlaps would be because I thought that.
Well, she has the baby.
She have a baby?
Yeah.
For God's sake, how
like,
you?
You'd have to just put up the title.
9 months.
Yeah.
Really?
12 months later.
Yes, right. It would have to.
Still winter in New York City.
But then if they jump back to the other stuff, then how in the would it be a flashback?
I don't know. I'm interested to see.
Dying. Yeah,
I'm now.
gotta.
So my interest is piqued on this Blu-ray Ghostbusters set if it's real, and I'm really hoping that it's real because maybe I'll buy it and then I'll let you borrow it and you can watch it on your own, like during the week or something like that. And then and I don't know, I'll look into it and see as long as it's not like $50 or something. Like that.
It's
it's Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Right?
I mean,
we memorized them, right?
Exactly. And then I also then found out Ghostbusters Frozen Empire got its Netflix release date because it's a
really?
Sony picture. So Sony doesn't have their own streaming service
So
Netflix. They've just jumped on. So Sony Pictures go to Netflix first, and it's going to be out in 2 weeks on Monday.
My gosh,
Monday the 22nd.
I am. Color me shocked. That's amazing.
Or maybe it's the 15th. I don't remember. No,
2 weeks.
I think it's 2 weeks. So I think it's
okay,
a Monday,
so
July 22nd.
So we're close.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire be on Netflix. We can watch that, and maybe we can watch that and then review it the very next night, which is what we originally planned to do months ago, was to actually go see it in the theater, go see it, and then come and record right after that to get our honest review. So we can do that like 6 months late.
The same thing.
It has the same feel, right?
Totally perfect. Well,
absolutely.
It would not be any different, right?
Timely,
it wouldn't even know,
right?
We went and saw it.
Yeah,
perfect.
We just saw this. Hey, here's a clip from when we saw Ghostbusters earlier this year
on a 65-inch screen.
This is what we said about Ghostbusters.
yes.
Frozen Empire.
Yes.
Oh my god.
We went back in time.
Oh, you watched Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Yes.
I watched it.
I did.
Dave watched it like as soon as it came out, early that morning.
And I'm pinging him.
I haven't watched it yet because I didn't stay up till 3 a.m. Well, I mean, I was up at 3 a.m., but I wasn't going to start a movie at 3 a.m. to watch it. I watched it the following night.
Yes.
And so I want to hear what you think of it first.
Okay. It is definitely a chunk of nostalgia. They hit every mark and they flash back to a lot of stuff. Surge was in it. Thank God Surge was in it.
I love Surge.
And
Achmel.
Yes. And they brought back Judge Reinhold and the Taggart and
Rosewood.
Yep. Right. And Paul Reiser was Jeffrey.
Yeah.
They had all of it, right? And they put them in, I think they put them into roles that were comparable to where they would be now. Technically.
Yeah, like one of them's now the police chief. Right?
Yeah. But the Axel role was, I thought, I don't know, man. Having him in that same role makes him seem stale as a cop, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't get it. And he didn't evolve at all. Technically, he was doing the exact same thing.
It's a Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, but everybody else
they all went up in rank.
Different,
right? Yeah, they're like the police chief.
He could have gone into like some kind of but he could have gone into some other department and been ahead in that department.
He's still a troublemaker.
Yeah, but he was doing the same thing.
Crazy Axel
started with the same action scene where there's a truck plowing through town, and not to spoil everything, but you kind of see the previews that's what he does. But then, and then you get back and it's kind of the same storyline from before where someone from his circle stumbles onto a plot and that plot drives the rest of the movie. And then it's a mystery of finding stuff.
Concluding, yes.
Right.
Okay. So do you want my opinion on it?
Yeah. So what letter would I give it? It's a fun romp.
Oh, we're grading it?
It's a fun summer romp. I would give it a B-.
Really? After what you just said, you give it something that high?
What it was, it's that nostalgia thing. Okay,
I seriously, when you said that, when you said that you would give it a grade, I was seriously thought like C-.
Oh, really?
And then when you said B, I'm like, after what you just said about it,
I did. Okay, but those were all my cons, right? So everything else that made it a good movie was all the nostalgia stuff. And seeing it be that kind of movie again.
Okay.
But it was that movie again. And that's kind of why it's not.
Well, I sat down, ready. I, again, sat down, shut up. I'm here for the ride.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was grinning from ear to ear. I loved the nostalgia.
Yes.
I loved the opening car chase, the scene with him like hitting every car on the street again.
Right.
I mean, it was one of those things where like Beverly Hills Cop 3 was a piece of shit. It sucked.
It was
terrible.
Yes.
That movie should have never happened. They should have gone 1, 2, and then the 30 years to 3 and just kept it because yes, it's a throwback to the original, which is what made us love the character. What I can't believe is how old everybody else looks and how young Eddie Murphy still looks.
Well, he said that in the thing, right? He made a joke about Jeffrey looking so nasty.
Right, he's still looking young.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was funny as hell.
Sorry, that was me doing my Eddie Murphy impersonation of Axel Foley. Just want to make that clear.
You're pulling them all out tonight. It must be Friday.
Yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I laughed and I loved that they opened it with a Detroit Red Wings hockey game. And that whole heist cool. and it was just Eddie Murphy doing what made him famous. And I enjoyed it. I knew going in what it was going to be. I knew where it was going. I expected exactly what they gave us. They didn't try to reinvent the series. They went back and just gave us what we loved.
Right.
And I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But my one thing,
here we go.
The actress that played his daughter, sucked. She was terrible. There seemed like there were points in her dialogue where she was like reading it off a cue card behind Eddie Murphy's head.
Chemistry wasn't there, right? They weren't feeding off
her
each other.
Acting was terrible.
I have to agree with that.
Terrible. Everybody else was hysterical. They were their characters. They were in it, and maybe it's throwing in a new character that's Eddie Murphy, that's his daughter, and and now she's an attorney and all this stuff, and but her acting was definitely. I don't know if they told her to play it down because the other characters have that played down. No, like they're like, they're tongue-in-cheek cops, buddy cop movie, Oh, and did you know this? Did you know that originally the first Beverly Hills Cop movie was written for Sylvester Stallone?
No.
And it wasn't a comedy?
Really?
Okay, so think about that movie the same way, but just take all the jokes out and put, Sylvester Stallone instead of Eddie Murphy. Oh. I'm like, that. How does that even, I don't know. Whatever.
Wow.
So anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed Beverly Hills Cop Axelf. I will watch it again. I actually kept it on my watch list. It's one of those where I would love to just you go in and you watch 2 or 3 minutes, or that scene, or the scene where Surge shows up and like gets him into the house, and it's like good to see Surge back just for the I enjoyed the nostalgia. I loved it. I'm an old crabbity old man, so like the little things like that still bring me joy,
take you back.
And exactly. So I recommend it. It actually has on Rotten Tomatoes, its critic percentage was 66, but the actual fan, like the real people review stuff of it, was 81%.
Really?
Approval. Yeah. Like that many people, so which was right in your B- range.
Yeah.
So I give it a B+. I'm not going to go A because of what it is. Because it is what it is of what it is.
You kind of knew what you were doing.
I'm giving it a B+. I can't give it an A because it's not like a cinematic masterpiece. I mean, it's fucking Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
But they gave us what we wanted to see.
Right. Well, some of the cast was surprising when I saw Gordon Levitt.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew him.
Like, I thought, was he Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah.
The kid?
Yeah. Well, he also was a Batman. Wasn't he Robin technically?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So he's done a lot of stuff. He's done some really. Did you ever see 500 Days of Summer?
Yes.
That was really good. I loved him in that.
So, yeah. So, I mean, he's coming out on certain things. So that's good.
Absolutely. Netflix has finally put the release date out for the Terminator Zero show that's coming out, which again sounds like a Coke product, Terminator Zero. Maybe they should do a tie-in with like Monster energy drinks or something. The Terminator Zero.
Terminator Zero.
And it'll be a sugar-free, because Monster has sugar-free, just make that a flavor.
No sugar, right?
Yeah, do a tie-in with Netflix.
Tastes like
Netflix, get that working with
tastes like copper.
Exactly.
Different metals. You can have different metals, right? This one tastes like tin.
Monster
this
energy
one tastes like copper.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Terminator Zero.
Terminator Zero.
Yeah, so the release date has been set. It's going to be out on August 29th.
Oh, wow.
That's soon.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
it's in the can then,
I thought it's been in the can and edited, and it's got to be done before they've done the release date. So
what if they've done any kind of preview showings and what they got on reviews?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in July. It should be any week now or any day now. There should be a trailer release or something, but they did announce that, it's going to be August 29th. And I forget how many parts it is. I think it's 8 or 10 parts or something like that.
Well, where's that marketing group? They got to get on the ball here. I haven't seen shit on it, and you've just mentioned it. And I was like, wait, again? I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, and going back to Axelrod real quick on Netflix. So last week, it was the #1 most streamed movie on all of the streaming servies.
On all of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
41. Well, what else was released? Do we know what
I don't know.
Others were?
Yeah, #2 was Under Paris.
That stupid shark one.
Is that the shark one?
That's the shark one, Under Paris.
Holy crap.
It's still up there. It's
I blocked it from my memory.
Paris.
It had 40.9 million views.
It's got someone's watching it.
Anyway, so the #3 is Damsel, #4 Skyfall, the James Bond movie.
Really?
Or is that something different? Is that not the same thing?
I think
isn't Skyfall the James Bond?
Isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. And then, no, this was movies. And then the Atlas, the J-Lo one was number 5.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that was the top 5. And, Axel F was the clear winner of the week.
Under Paris.
Under Paris.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I can't. But also sticking with Eddie Murphy real quick.
Yes.
I read this. Again, don't know if it's fake or it's real. I got to do a little bit more research. But supposedly.
We don't get hung up on research.
Yeah. Shrek 5.
Oh, no. Hey, perfect.
And Mike Myers.
Is he on?
And yes, Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz, because Cameron Diaz is retired from acting, but she's
right?
going to do voice, she'll still do the,
Yeah, she's show up and say some
but her, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, they've all signed on to come back for Shrek 5.
Wow.
I don't remember Shrek 4.
It was, I think I remember 4. I think I remember 4 where he made a wish and he didn't exist and it kind of spiraled.
I thought that
into
was 3.
I thought that was 4. We're way off then. I have no clue.
Because Shrek 1 and 2 were great.
Okay, go with 1.
And then
what
3,
was 1? 1 was the regular one where he
they
goes
met,
and saves
he and
her.
Fiona
so that's
meet,
the first one.
and they fall in love.
Farquaad's the evil guy, right?
Yeah.
And the the dragon eats.
Sure, I vaguely remember that.
Number 2. And then number 2, they try to take over whatever.
Like another, like the castle's getting whatever.
The prince tries to take over Far, Far Away.
Sure. Yeah. Right? Anyway, we don't need to try to review all the Shrek movies.
So that's 2.
So, and then the third one I don't remember, fourth one I don't remember, and now there's a fifth one. So,
okay, there we go.
But yeah,
I was going through it in my brain. I can't remember 3
I can't remember what the hell happened in
Shrek.
Whatever.
Really?
So,
you got to get on the ball. I'm a Shrekkie.
I know. Oh my gosh, is that all I have for TVs? Oh, and then the last thing in TV. So Dave,
my homework,
doing his homework.
I did a little
bit
of homework. Okay, I know I'm supposed to be watching Big Brother.
That starts next Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So I'm not.
No, that starts next Wednesday.
Missed that one.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope,
okay. Good.
Don't worry.
Wait.
I'll remind you.
Oh shit.
I will text you daily. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, we'll record the day before, so of course you're going to remind me.
Well, yeah. Okay. So anyway, yes. So
I watched The Bear.
He finally started watching The Bear.
I'm in the middle of season 3.
He's already up to season 3.
Yeah, I've been.
Because I told you they're like half an hour, 40 minutes.
I was watching some stuff, but it was hard to focus because watching it just made my head hurt. So I did as best I could, but yeah, I got to the middle of 3.
That is awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, it is really good.
You'll have it done by Tuesday.
I think the writing. You said season 3 was a little hard to watch, but I don't know. I'm hooked, so it's kind of one of those things.
But I was hooked too. Believe me, season 1, season 2, I was like fucking A. And then we wait. The first 6-7 episodes were just a slow. Yeah.
Okay.
Roll. And
here's the thing. Do you remember when? Okay, this is really going back, but there was a movie called Last Action Hero. Do you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger, the kid?
Yes.
And he's a movie actor. And he falls into the movie, and they show it
was a huge summer flop.
Yeah, it was very bad. But they showed the perfect scenario of what was happening in the movie, where everybody was like a model, a star. And the person working at the Blockbuster was actually a model.
Yes,
and it was that's real, right? Yeah, because not everybody's perfect. Well, I like them when they actually are people. Like they got them right off the street. Like the casting
these are real,
did great on getting people in there that are intriguing and realistic. It's not like
it's not like, oh, here we put Julia Roberts in to be the whatever or something.
Yeah, and she's playing a third line cook. You know what I mean? Like she's not just the background character isn't someone that, they really are picking people and using people that are realistic.
Right. And even Carmy, I mean, even though he was on, what was it? Fearless or what was that HBO Shameless?
Shameless.
He was on Shameless all those years, and he's been in Hollywood doing stuff for a while, and he actually has a name.
Actor,
we know who
Yeah, and he's a face.
You see him, and it's like, oh, and he kind of. I don't know if you've seen these pictures. I saw these online. I did my own investigation.
Yes,
that put the people that didn't know they were related celebrities, and it's the picture of him and Gene Wilder.
Oh, really?
They're not related.
Oh no,
not even But
you put them side by side. They look.
It's the clickbait to get you in. It's the picture of both of them, and then you click on it and you scroll through the tile. Oh, this person, and there are people that I knew they were related, or I knew they were related, or that stuff like that. But that one's then all the way in 50 slides in, and it's like, oh, it says the blah 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 whatever, and
I'm like,
but they even said in this thing that they were related, and I'm like, I don't think. I went and looked, then I did an internet search. And
oh my gosh, you did research.
God, yes, through Google. I did this thing called Google.
And looked it up?
Wait, hold on. I Googled it. I think that's what they say now.
The Google?
Yeah.
The kids
Google
it. The kids use it that
right?
way, yeah. Right.
So, and looked and no, he and Gene Wilder are not related. They just very similar.
Very similar.
Gentlemen
you
with
put them next to each
yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Right,
So, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Anyway.
That's funny.
But they're not related.
Not related.
But yeah, so he's the biggest name in it, I guess. And then, did you know that the guy that plays Fack, the one with the face tattoos and stuff like that?
Yes.
His name is Matty Matheson.
Yeah, I like him.
And he actually has his own cooking show. I think on one of the cooking channels. You have to go look it up.
Oh,
he
okay.
has because he's not an actor. He's actually somebody who does he has his own show and it's funny type stuff like that. And then he got cast into
that role,
doing something in a restaurant, and he's like a foodie guy. So
I like some of his offhand comments because he's very
him and his brother.
Yes.
The way they go at it.
Yeah, they go back.
My
and
wife
forth.
said the same too.
We're
She goes,
so
oh my
good.
gosh,
We're so good.
yeah.
We're so good at this.
Maybe you're haunted.
Yes, and when he was talking to Pete, the soon to be dad, and he goes, "You're going to make a great dad," just out of the blue, and I was just like, that plays well. For that character, because it doesn't make any sense that he would just blurt that out at that moment.
Yeah.
But that's what that character does. And they cast this very well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes these type of shows go 7 and 10
this ensemble
seasons.
cast, I mean, because, you love Sydney and you love Carmi and, you love Richie.
Right.
He's a dick and you love.
Right, yes. He had the best turnaround story, though.
Oh, my God. Richie's was the best.
Richie was
Seriously.
definitely the best. And when he went to that restaurant,
they sent him to Ever. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that was perfect.
Yeah. To get him in line
into that show. But but that kept him viable for the restaurant too, right? I did like that. And then I had a bunch of notes for this, and I can't, where the hell do I have my notes?
So you've still got what I feel, the last 3 episodes are just, I think, powerful all the way through, and you're not even to that yet. And you're still in it, which is awesome.
Yeah, but cool. So then, and I do agree with, you mentioned the mom.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
Right. In the Thanksgiving or Christmas episode or whatever
totally
it was.
blows that apart, and she drives. That was pretty good.
Yep.
And then I haven't seen her again yet, except I accidentally watched season 2's 10th episode first, which was bizarre
because he hit the
way
button.
My internet worked and my clicking. And she was in that one.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen her the whole rest of that season.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, I thought there was going to be a little more build up, but and then all of a sudden she's in it.
Piece of work. Dee is something.
Yeah, right. But that one that she did was an hour one, and that played well. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And Oliver Platt plays his role.
Is he
very
not
well.
just the best?
Your
I've always loved Oliver Platt, and you never see him in enough stuff, and I've always loved him.
Exactly, and you question whether his character is mobby or not, and then
exactly
because you don't know where all the money's coming from, but then he's asking them to do
the family
things.
or is it the family?
The family, right? And it's just, but it's good that isn't you kind of don't want this to be muddled with mob stuff, because it is Chicago.
Because we've seen the whole mob thing.
That.
We've done
and then
Sopranos.
They underutilized the guy who used to play Punisher, John Bernthal.
Oh, okay. So
the kid,
because he's originally he was on Walking Dead.
Yes.
And I had this conversation with my wife.
Yep.
When he was on Walking Dead, I thought he was a complete shit actor on Walking Dead. And I was so happy when they killed Shane. Oh. But in this, and he has this one big long monologue scene that I just sat there going, oh my God, he is still not a good actor.
Well, so he played, so he was the Punisher.
Oh, and he was the Punisher, yes, after Walking Dead.
Right, and that went 2 seasons, and I thought that was the perfect role for him instead of Walking Dead, because he had that type of broody kind of I know what you're saying. Kind of thing.
Chiseled look. Like he already looks like a comic book.
Yeah, but the Punisher movies that they did kind of sucked. And I
never watched any of them. I'll take your word for it.
The series were actually better because they were able to break it up like it was a comic book and actually put together the drama that needed to occur, as opposed to trying to shove it all in an hour and 20. Because the action movies had to be that back then.
Right, because they were all,
But yeah, and then of course season 2. What the hell did they get a break on REM songs? Because it seemed like every episode was an REM song playing in the background over top of conversation. I'm just like,
oh yeah, because they did actually play. They did
Jesus
that one
Christ.
episode where. Yeah, because they played a couple REM songs.
Yes, but it wasn't like it was playing in the background of the restaurant. It was just loud.
Over the,
and I was like, okay, but that's almost as loud as the actual conversations. I can barely hear what they're talking about. And of course, I had it on my phone. I was watching it, and I'm just old. Yeah, it's too much noise. It's too much noise all at once. But yeah, that was funny. So I'm wondering what the next set are going to be for season 3, because I'm getting bits and pieces of 90s grunge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because Eddie Vedder sings Sooner or Later.
Yeah. I was listening to it. I was like, that's gotta be what that is.
Yeah.
And I was like,
because that was Eddie Vedder singing that.
Right.
From Program.
Yeah. So all REM, and then all of a sudden.
No, there's been a lot of Wilco in there. There's been a lot of Radiohead in there too.
Yes.
Like when they find the money in the cans. That last song that's
season 1.
That's Radiohead. Yeah.
Season 2,
I loved. Yeah.
But that's kind of fun. So I was making notes. So those are my notes.
That's your notes. Cool. So one of the other things quickly about this, and we'll wrap up, is they actually shot season 3 and season 4 together, but they weren't, when they started, they weren't on that track. They were shooting hour-long episodes, and they ended up with 16 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Or they then were able to cut it down to half-hour episodes. Sorry, edit it from the 1 hour episode, because they're like, wow, we've got a lot. This is enough for like both seasons, the way where this arc is going. Right. And so they shot the episodes hour at a time, as hour episodes, and then. But now they've cut them up, and they'll cut them up into half hours. So they're saying that season 4 might be out sooner than later, because it's been coming out every like June, July of every year,
right,
and every summer. And that, well, I mean, the writer's strike pushed, I think, 1 year back, but whatever. The season 4 that might be coming out, I don't know, maybe Christmas time, or around the first of the year, instead of all the way 6 months later, because it's already in the can, it's already done, it's already edited.
Of course,
just Well, also going back to Matty Matheson real quick, that character and that actor, he was in an interview, and he said that when they shoot it, nothing's in order. When they they'll go in one day and they shoot this one scene, and
you're
then,
like,
the next scene they shoot is going to be from 4 episodes later or something, that they've
flashback,
all this stuff. So, and he said, luckily for him, he doesn't have a ton of lines, because he forgets so much. So when he goes into interviews and they ask him like, oh, what about this episode? And he just looks at him like, Sure, I don't remember. I'm like, because I don't remember what happened in that. Or he hasn't gone back and watched it, or he filmed, in his character.
That's
he's like,
pretty good.
Goes,
that's kind of how I would be.
I can't remember.
I don't even
lines.
know day to day anymore. It's just all blur. That's funny.
We also had some sports stuff. Are we going to get into that, or do you want to?
I can. Mine's real quick.
Okay, dude, hit us.
I had a sports correction. Remember we did the 1, 2 real, 1 fake.
Again,
it was
experts on anything.
1 reel, or 2 reels, 1 reel, because that soft arrow archery.
Did you find
team,
it?
Yes, they fucking okay. So the team, it's a team sport, and the company that makes it are the knocker ball guys.
The knocker ball,
and these are the ones that actually have the giant balls that are inflatable.
Yeah, and you
wear them.
Yeah,
and you go running at people
around each other.
And they do like soccer, and you put the big giant ball and you run at this thing with this. So they have these. I went and looked it up, and they have the archery set for 10 people. It's $1,800. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, pass.
I know, right?
Hard pass.
And that saying, they do the giant balls.
I can get a whole set of fucking encyclopedias for that price.
Exactly.
Am I going to buy foam darts that I'm just kidding?
Yeah, right. If you want one of those knocker ball that they have, the balls, it's $300.
Oh, it's expensive.
Now you could also get a giant human foosball set, where you are basically
I've seen
foosball.
that.
Yeah, and it's a blow up thing. That's $4,800.
Oh my god.
These are just ideas for Christmas for the kids.
Oh, these are the.
And if
when I win the lottery, I'm not telling anybody.
You'll have all this inflatable shit in your backyard. They'll know.
Right.
But no one will see, because you're going to get a different property that's going to be out of reach of any neighbor.
Yeah.
And then if you want to have giant bowling pins to go with your human bowling ball kind of scenario, you can get 6 for $1,200.
$1,200. Big inflatable.
Those are your prices. Yes, that's
the
giant inflatable stuff. So yeah, and wearable, so you can just knock around and not hurt yourself.
That is crazy.
I do that. I would so do that.
So I'm not an athlete or anything, but I've actually, it's just a quick sidebar on my side. I've been thinking this week about getting one of those cold ice plunge little tank things.
What does that do for you?
So it apparently does a lot. Like, it's supposed to help with, sleep and, clearing your head. And it releases all this dopamine and like stuff that like, that puts you in better moods and stuff. Cause I'm always such a crabby ass.
You love the cold though.
I do. And that's
you just be in it all the time.
You can't stay in it for more than like 3 minutes or something like that.
Be able to. You're like Mr. Freeze. You just love
But yeah, I would have no problems doing that every day, even in the winter.
Yeah, you would just be like, dunk and just be like, hey, this is awesome.
So then my wife sends me a YouTube video of a guy that like he made his own out of like a one of those ice chests.
Yeah.
With the top lid where you set stuff in it. But it has to have a plastic lining, and the one we have is a metal lining. I told my wife, I'm like, oh, I guess I know what I'm going to start working on this weekend.
Yeah,
and
but
then
you
I'm
wouldn't
like,
want to
ours has a
stick
metal
to the
lining.
metal.
So,
that would be lovely.
Yeah. Skin rips off.
It's really fun.
But you wouldn't know because you're so frozen.
You have to heal every time afterwards.
Yeah, from sticking to the
I have
metal.
to switch out all the water too.
Yeah, the bloody. Coppery. I don't want the sharks coming up under Paris and biting me.
Biting you off
in my
ghost shark
freezer cooler,
whatever.
I'm
telling you. Well, cool. So that's the next project then. Huh?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about. No, I'm not going to build my own. There's a company that like they have like the starter one that you can try, and it's like $100. I'm like, okay, I'll do that for $100 and try it, and then if I like it,
I mean, it's 1/3 of a giant ball, but I'm just saying.
Well, yeah. You're gonna have you have that problem,
you're gonna have to put it away.
All right. Is that all you have for this week?
I believe that is.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't even say see you next week because I'm going to see you on Tuesday. It's Friday now. I'm going to see you in like 72 hours.
Out.
Or yeah, whatever. It's going to be close. So we'll see you
soon.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Pern and Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, well, Pern and Dave and Win in Chicago.
Eat at the Original Beef of Chicagoland.
And the good people at Shaky Bonjour,
Chicago's premier imaginary French fine dining restaurant.
Till next time.